नाजरीन एंड वेलकम टू अ स्पेशल टॉक। मैं हूं मोना आलम, मेरे हमरा हैं फैसल रहमान। व्यूअर्स, व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट यूथ एंड व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, देन दीज टू एलिमेंट्स आर प्रीटी वेल कनेक्टेड एंड कोरिलेटेड। नाजरीन, बात इस वक्त करना जरूरी ये है कि नौजवानों को हम किस तरह से मजीद एंगेज कर सकते हैं और आइडियाज को, इनोवेशन को कैसे बढ़ावा दिया जा सकता है। द आइडिया इज टू बेसिकली promote innovation, promote entrepreneurship and promote youngsters who come up with such innovation. But obviously they need some leverages at some certain levels. A lot is being done on in the Western world regarding such ideas and such entrepreneurship to promote the theory itself. But certainly we need to gear up when it comes to Pakistan, and Jumpstart Pakistan is one such entity which has been doing miraculously well in this department. And so when it started off somewhere in 2014, then it grew and it went on up till 2018, that is last year, and then they're coming up with another initiative this year, that is for 2019. नाज़रीन, अब देखने की बात यह है कि इस साल क्या मुनफरिद होगा, लेकिन आइडिया बेसिकली हम जो प्रमोट करना चाह रहे हैं वो इस पूरी टॉक के जरिए ये है कि हम अपने नौजवानों को, यानी कि हमारे यूथ को किस तरह से पाकिस्तान में वो वेस्टर्न जो आइडियाज हैं और जो प्रमोशन नौजवानों को दी जाती है उनके एंटरप्रेन्योरियल स्किल्स और उनकी इनोवेशन को लेकर, एग्जैक्टली वो आइडिया हम लोग पाकिस्तान में कैसे रेप्लिकेट कर सकते हैं।
कहा जाता है कि जी जॉब क्रिएशन सिर्फ हुकूमत का काम नहीं होता। जॉब क्रिएशन होती है एसएमईज को स्ट्रॉन्ग करने से, इंडस्ट्रियल ग्रोथ से, और सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट कि खुद का अपना काम शुरू किया जाए ताकि आप जॉब लेने के लिए ना जाएं, आप देने वालों में से हों। सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट एक एलिमेंट ये भी है। आज के हमारे जो प्रोग्राम में हमारे मेहमान हैं, मैं उनका आपसे तारुफ कराऊं। जैसे कि आप जानते हैं कि हमने आपसे बात की जंप स्टार्ट पाकिस्तान। जंप स्टार्ट पाकिस्तान के चेयरमैन जो है इस वक्त हमारे साथ स्टूडियो में मौजूद हैं, जनाब अमजद परवेज साहब। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर फॉर टेकिंग आउट द टाइम एंड बीइंग अ पार्ट ऑफ आवर शो, एंड आई थिंक दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अ वेरी प्रोडक्टिव टॉक टुडे। उनके बराबर में जी बहुत शुक्रिया, उनके बराबर में तशरीफ रखते हैं जी हमारे आज के गेस्ट। इस हवाले से भी बड़े खास हैं, जेम्स खान साहब का आपने नाम सुना होगा। एंटरप्रेन्योर हैं और सिर्फ ये नहीं कि एक वेंचर कैपिटलिस्ट की हैसियत से भी काम करते हैं, एक बहुत इनका काम लोगों की मदद के हवाले से भी। चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑफिसर है हैमिल्टन ब्राडशॉ प्राइवेट इक्विटी के, फॉर्मर ड्रैगन फाउंडर। ये ड्रैगन एक प्रोग्राम था ड्रैगन 10 जिसमें कि आइडियाज प्रेजेंट किए जाते थे। एक आइडिया दे, आप उसके ऊपर होमवर्क करें, उसकी फिजिबिलिटी बनाएं, उसको प्रॉपर तरीके से तैयार करें, उसकी प्राइमरीली जो उसकी डिटेल्स है वो आपके पास हो, एंड देन यू प्रेजेंट द आइडिया इज अप्रूव्ड, देन यू गेट द मनी। एंड जेम्स खान would be the banker in that particular case. Sir, thank you very much, Khan Sahab, to be here and a part of our show.
Absolute pleasure.
And I hope in our today's program there's going to be a lot for learning. And our third guest in our
Sayyid Asad Hussain Sahab, CMO for Jumpstart Pakistan.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, बहुत शुक्रिया।
बाकायदा अमजद साहब से मेरा ख्याल है हम लोग पूरी बात का आगाज करते हैं, क्योंकि जैसे फैसल ने भी बताया, इट्स अ वेरी प्राउड इनिशिएटिव एंड आई वुड लाइक टू कांग्रेचुलेट ऑल यू जेंटलमैन फॉर टेकिंग इट अप विद सच हार्ड वर्क, नॉट जस्ट इन पाकिस्तान बट ऑल्सो एल्सवेयर इन द वर्ल्ड। तो अमजद साहब, टू बिगिन विद यू सर, कैसे आप इस आइडिया को आप कहाँ पर पहुंचा रहे हैं? व्हाट इज एग्जैक्टली इज जंपस्टार्ट ऑल अबाउट?
Jumpstart Pakistan actually is a brainchild of our founder Khurram Zubairi Sahab, who is based in America. So ये जो organization है primarily is an initiative by overseas Pakistani business people.
Lovely.
So जो 20 billion plus remittance आपको already आ रही है, वो normal आपके जो पाकिस्तानी बाहर हैं अपने अखराजात के लिए, अपने families के लिए, उनकी अपकीप के लिए करते हैं। मगर जो बाहर हम लोग बैठे हैं, जो कारोबारी हजरात हैं, हमने देखा है कि हम क्या रोल अदा कर सकते हैं पाकिस्तान की इकोनॉमी को फुलफिल करने के लिए। सो आवर विजन ऑफ जंपस्टार्ट पाकिस्तान इज टू एक्चुअली लुक एट अ मैक्रो लेवल अप्रोच, and our vision states that we are an organization committed to creating an ecosystem which is self-sustaining and robust, but more importantly it is connected with the world's lucrative markets. Because without actually you having a connection with the global markets, you can produce a product and a service, but if you do not get the value for that product in an intense way, you cannot grow the economy. And Pakistan, I think in the last probably 30 years has not particularly done very well in that.
Correct.
So हमारी ये जो एक बड़ी विजन वो ये है कि अगर आपने पाकिस्तान की इकोनॉमी को किसी जगह पे लेके जाना है तो पहले आपको इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसी होनी चाहिए. Right? So that is the work of the government, but the government on its own cannot do that. It's the private sector that needs to play that. But unfortunately, what we found in 2014, जब हम यहाँ पे पूरी दुनिया से हमारे 20 chapters हैं across the globe, और अभी हम 20 cities, not just इस्लामाबाद, लाहौर and कराची में, in fact rural areas में काम कर रहे हैं, 50 universities के साथ काम कर रहे हैं, practically काम कर रहे हैं. So first 5 years has been actually going to these rural areas, going to the universities, going to the players who are already in the system.
Correct.
So आपके national incubation centers, and they're doing marvelous job, but they're doing a niche market. Nobody is actually taking the holistic macro level approach to that. So in order to us to succeed, it is absolutely important कि जो गवर्नमेंट के अदारे हैं वो आपके स्टेक होल्डर्स बने.
आप जो बात कर रहे हैं बुनियादी तौर पे आप ये कहना चाह रहे हैं कि जो प्राइवेट और पब्लिक मर्जर है ये इस कॉन्सेप्ट में, और ये दोनों जब मिलेंगे तो उस सिनर्जी के बेस पे आप इसको आगे लेकर के चलेंगे.
So ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, I talked about the industrial strategy. Industrial strategy actually has to be based on your sectors.
Right. और सेक्टर्स में हमने देखा है कि इस दफा भी आपने इसको डाइवर्सिफाई किया है. Amjad Sahab, we'll get back in detail with you, और we'd relevantly like to know कि response कैसा रहा. उस पर भी आप मजीद रोशनी डालिएगा. But Faisal, I think our guest and the celebrity guest on the program from the Dragon's Den fame, James Saab, welcome to Pakistan, and it's lovely having you on platform with us. You've done so much, sir. आपने internationally भी बहुत कुछ किया. You've done miraculous works, and you've always encouraged youths with their ideas and with their innovations. Do you think this particular area has been lagging in Pakistan, just as Amjad Sahab has also pointed out? And how would we take it further here now?
I think it is lacking here, and I think it's disappointing because I think Pakistan's DNA, I think we are a nation of shopkeepers. You know, so we love business, we love making money, but actually what we need to do is institutionalize the concept of business so that it's available to all. And I think that it's just now you're starting to see colleges setting up business degrees, business subjects, etc. So technology is starting to emerge, and a guy, you know, at a university can develop an app. He doesn't have to be a megastar, and he can build a great business.
And there has been some great startups in Pakistan,
sure.
Sir, if you followed lately. There have been some great ideas which have been propped up by youngsters, and now they're making good money and good fame for themselves.
But there's another very important element. I mean, you talk about the conducive environment where that business or that idea can flourish. There are multiple hurdles also, there are multiple opportunities at the same time. When you look at the demographics of Pakistan, you'll find 70% of the people are very young, girls and boys.
Yeah.
Anywhere you talk about, for example, Japan, Germany, Holland, USA, SMEs is the key. Because whenever we talk about starting up our own business, we think about billions of dollars or millions of dollars. In this particular case, what is your idea? Do you think that startups do not need that kind of money? Maybe a small amount can really give them a push.
I think it's a great point. I mean, I think the first question I would say is an entrepreneur created or is he born? And that's the $64 million question, because actually I don't believe you can develop an entrepreneur. I think an entrepreneur is somebody who has that DNA, that drive, that motivation, because I think too many young people, they wake up in the morning, they have this crazy idea, and they say, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I don't think entrepreneurship is that easy. Building and creating a business is one of the most challenging things that you will do. It's like me waking up in the morning and saying, you know, I think I'm going to be a brain surgeon. There's no chance. I mean, it's not who I am. And entrepreneurship should be valued in the same way. You know, I think it should be recognized as a profession. It's not having a go. There's no such thing as a part-time entrepreneur.
Correct.
You're either in it, and you're in it for life, and you're 24/7, or you're not. You know, so I think one of the things that we need in Pakistan is some degree of education to make our youth aware this is not a shortcut.
Mr. Asad, coming to you, sir. ये बताइएगा, अगर हम लोग 2014 से 2014 जब आपने ये शुरू किया था इनिशिएटिव, अब 2019 में, और मैं जहां पर पढ़ रही थी द प्रेजेंटेशन दैट वी हैव हैड, एक बल्कि आई हैव बीन टोल्ड एक व्यूअर्स के लिए एक क्विक वीडियो, फिर उसके बाद वील गेट टू असद साहब विद आवर क्वेश्चन, एक डॉक्यूमेंट्री, एक वीडियो पैकेज ये मुलाहिजा कीजिएगा अभी तक की जर्नी और आगे फ्यूचर जो प्रोस्पेक्ट्स है उसके हवाले से. टेक अ लुक.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So what is Jumpstart? Jumpstart is a movement to solve the problems of Pakistan through entrepreneurship. And that's the only way you can solve the problems of Pakistan in a sustainable way. And anybody can do it. All you have to do is look around. There are tons of problems, thousands of problems. And those problems have got solutions, sustainable solutions through entrepreneurship.
2018 was an amazing year. We saw changes all over the country, whether it was politics, whether it was social networks, or whether it was a great movement that Jumpstart had started back in 2014. I really believe that this movement is for Pakistan, for the future of Pakistan, and for those who love Pakistan.
My father left Pakistan over 50 years ago, and he left something for us, and that is Pakistan. I have recently joined this environment, and it's the best thing that's happened to me in my life. And there's actually another reason why we're doing this, because we are creating something for our generation.
In a country where startup culture doesn't even exist, I think we're beginning to change that. 170 countries in film, in food, in fashion, in tourism, in heritage, all the festivals that happen, Pakistan will become an epicenter for that. And that means the people who are sat here are early adopters. They understand the vision, they buy into the vision, and then we've got to give them the direction.
You cannot buy a ticket, but you have to show us that you are a true entrepreneur. So the right people showed up, and people loved the burning and the pirate scheme, and everyone felt our passion about the topic. Lived, but happening all over the city, happening in all the offices from the startups here. So it's a decentralized conference. And I want to bring it to Pakistan, I want to bring it to any other Asian country, and that's my mission right now.
Blockchain can play quite an important role in the area of establishing trust.
The work that was done from the Ministry of IT and Telecom platform was keeping in perspective the fourth industrial revolution.
So we want to continue to support Pakistan to become more prosperous and more stable and secure.
Your guiding light during decision making is your vision. This idea that this question, stick to the facts. If you don't want it, then why do it? Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
So today social media and email is the primary means by which we get into organizations, banks and others to actually steal the valuable resources of these organizations.
And that's the biggest value that I've had in my career, is that I've continuously invested in my network and continue to reach out to those people to build a relationship. You need to be really clear what's unique about you. And that's one of the hardest things to achieve. And I raised $1.4 million to start my first venture. We launched in August 2010, and within 2 years we were doing $33 million in revenue.
ओके नाज़रीन, ये था हमारा वीडियो पैकेज जो अभी आपने देखा, और असद साहब इसी को मजीद आगे बढ़ाते हुए 2014 में आपने शुरू किया और अब 2019 में, एक तो ये जो प्रोग्रेस थी, जो हमने एक प्रेजेंटेशन भी हमने देखी थी, इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑफर आपकी 2014 में फ्रॉम 1 मिलियन इट ग्रू टू 1.8 मिलियन इन 2015 एंड सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ. 2018 में ये 20 मिलियन तक का आपका इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑफर था. इस मर्तबा आप 2019 में क्या एम कर रहे हैं, और जो आपका अब ये इसके बाद का जो आपका फ्लैगशिप है जंपस्टार्ट पाकिस्तान का, उसके बारे में प्लीज अब मजीद हाईलाइट करें. आई एम श्योर पीपल वांट टू नो अबाउट इट.
सो ओरिजिनली तो ये प्लान था टू गो डोर टू डोर go via universities and see how to start entrepreneurship, how to start startups. And then the journey slightly progressed further. तो हमने सोचा भी हमें conference होनी चाहिए, because ये startups जो हैं, ये entrepreneurs हैं, इनको तो हमने we have to promote them to the world.
Correct.
So last year we did our 2018 Lift conference, जिसमें we had a good response. लेकिन it was the first conference of its type, and we had over 100 speakers, SMEs. We had stalls. It was like an expo, and it was just the beginning. And
Primarily all the stakeholders.
And all the stakeholders, yes. And it was obviously in Islamabad. And what we were learning as well at the same time, but what we realized that the interest, the phenomena, that people really want to show off what they're good at, their products. So inshallah this year 2019 हम उससे बहुत बड़ा event कर रहे हैं लाहौर में and Islamabad. पाकिस्तान की जो population है, over 60% is under the age of 30.
Correct.
So if you think about it, that era, that age is a digital era. So everybody from the age of 12 upwards, उसका mobile phone रखा हुआ है.
Even below.
So they're using, yeah, so they're using Twitter, they're using Facebook, they're using Instagram. Now, if the young youth is using digital and communications, you can check their mindset. So it's all leading in the right direction. The only issue that we see is that when they have created their idea, or when they have got an amazing idea, let's just say, वो कहाँ लेके जाएंगे आगे?
Correct.
Right?
They find no encouragement.
Where will they take it? Either they have to find jobs, or where will they go? So the concept is to bring them to the Lift conference, and obviously we can take it further. And then when we have people like James Khan, जो पूरी दुनिया में renowned है, or people look up to him and वो inspire हो जाते हैं. It's literally an inspiring thing. I think that is what Pakistan needs.
All right. Now, sir, there's another very important area I really want you to throw light on is, for example, every region is different, every country is different, the dynamics are different, the psychographics are different, the demographics are different, but potential always is there. It's up to you how you sort of diagnose it, how you diagnose the issues and the problems. Now, sir, there's a saying in marketing that whenever you evaluate any country, you need to see what sort of industries are really doing well. Do you think the environment or the ecosystem is actually providing that kind of the substance or the ingredients in the form of those students to sort of do that merger, or the wedding, I would say, which can produce some better results later, sir?
Okay, that's an excellent question. And that is so what gives Jumpstart Pakistan its unique value proposition? This is the key differentiation factor. The startup culture is something we must do, and that is what we have focused for the last 4 to 5 years. But as you rightly said, the real backbone of any economy is SMEs. There are some wonderful SMEs in every sector, and we're talking to the planning department, we're talking to the chambers of commerce, we're talking to the banks, we're talking to the Board of Investment, and we are the only official body that the government of Pakistan has officially recognized to work and build the ecosystem, not just in Pakistan but across the globe. Now, originally when I started, I said to you that Pakistan is sending 20 billion to Pakistan. We estimate that in the next 5 years, we can grow the economy easily by 100 billion. I repeat, 100 billion.
Through just encouraging entrepreneurs.
No. Let me give you the model. The model is across the globe, particularly in the 4 key centers where the Pakistani origin people live. UK is probably the 5th or 6th largest economy.
Right.
We are embedded in every aspect of that economy. Our young people are into everything from technology, you name it, they're there. So the developed human capital that we so desperately need is already there, and their aspiration to actually help and engage with Pakistan is already there. You go to America, you go to Dubai, it exactly the same thing. How do you actually bottle that magic? That is the key thing that Jumpstart Pakistan is doing that. And the model is that you've already got some beautiful companies which are Pakistani origin. I don't mind KFC coming to Pakistan. I don't mind Nestle coming to Pakistan, which we must have. But there are some wonderful Pakistani origin. Bestways is an example. I have a company which is probably one of the largest food service companies. Asad has a company that is probably, leading in retail, internet retail. Those Pakistanis, so the first up to 2022, our aims and strategic objective which we've agreed with the Pakistani government is that we will encourage those high performers, overseas Pakistani companies to come into these different verticals where Pakistan has a competitive advantage. Agri-tech, learning, innovation. We talked about aerospace and engineering. Right? Tourism, right? There are some beautiful companies that are operating in Pakistan. Now, everybody talks about that we haven't got PayPal. I can solve that problem for you like that. I can set up a company in UK, sat there in half an hour. Just got to go on the website, and you can be a director from Pakistan. I can be a director, right, straight away. What does that give your company? On your website, you say you've got an office in Pakistan, an office in London, office in Chicago, an office in Thailand, suddenly. So you've overcome the problem of payment solutions on your website. Secondly, what does it give you? We, the overseas Pakistani businesses, intricately understand the route to market in these developed economies. Why wouldn't I want to grow my company in Bradford or in Manchester or in Leeds or Chicago, right? I would give a preference to a Pakistani company who wants to do the same thing. So this marriage of growth potential is the route to market. So this is what we are encouraging. So this
can I call that an arranged marriage?
Absolutely. Right? So we've tested the model in 2018. I've set up a company. So all the board of directors actually have been given one target. If you are asking other people to do it, have you done it yourself?
Correct.
So we have a technology company which is probably one of the most disruptive ones in Europe. We've just set up a subsidiary in Lahore. Asad is a board member. He's done it. We've got a guy who's
and that's mandatory for
all
absolutely
mandatory. You can't just talk.
Right.
So there's a guy in California who's pledged to invest 400 million in palm oil production in Pakistan. So similar kind of people. But I think, I tell you what, the real problem here is...
That's huge market because the
absolutely.
There's a lot of import taking place.
The imported cooking oils are just killing us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Correct.
And we can grow in Punjab. I come from Jhelum.
Deficit. That's a brilliant idea.
I come from Jhelum, and mustard and rapeseed. If you just throw it, it grows like absolutely weeds. Right, and it's absolutely crazy that we're importing cooking oil when we've got the agri-tech potential that is under the cash crops. So the Chinese, let me give you another example. The Chinese do not actually take Western medicine. They're into herbal medicine. I am now talking to some of the biggest Chinese medicine companies who want to grow organic medicinal herbs in Pakistan. Right now. That market.
Right. So we become more self-sufficient.
Absolutely.
We're not dependent.
That's the key.
But I think if we go back to your question, which I thought was a good one, which is, is it the idea? So you said, is it the environment and the right people, etc.? I'm a strong believer that if you came to me with the best idea in the world, but you yourself are not an entrepreneur, it won't work. So the key message is, people think it's ideas that create success. I believe it's people who create success. The idea only represents 5% of the success within a business. Yet if you speak to young people out there, they all believe, because they've had this genius idea, that tomorrow they're going to float the company. But there's a big gap between the idea and execution.
Correct. But Mr. Khan, about the risk factor that we talked about, these are some lovely ideas that we're talking about, and I'm sure everyone would want to venture into these. But when we talk about the risk factor attached to an idea, I mean, if I am an entrepreneur, I'd be apprehensive if my idea would work.
Well, let me tell you, globally, 70% of entrepreneurs fail. So there defines your risk, and the reason why 70% of entrepreneurs fail is because they think it's the idea that's going to launch their success. They forget that it is them. So the key message from me is you have to first look in the mirror and say, am I an entrepreneur? When I did Dragon's Den,
yes,
you know, I met 1,000 entrepreneurs. You know, so people would come in, I would evaluate, and when somebody said, you know, I've got this idea and I want an investment, the first question I said was, why? Why do you want to do that? Now, just saying to me, because I want to make money, doesn't mean anything to me. You know, what is making you want to do this? Is it pride? Is it family? Is it need? Is it want? Because everybody wants, it doesn't mean you make it.
Oh, I see.
There's a lot of difference. We want everything, but we don't need everything.
That's right. I want the guy who wakes up in the morning, because remember, in entrepreneurship, it's a 24/7 business. You know, entrepreneurs do not work 9 to 5. They work 7 days a week. So when I asked the guy the question, you know, what is your commitment to this?
We were just told to take a break here. We'll just return, Mona, after the break, and we'll continue our discussion. Stay with us.
अल्लाह का और उसके रसूल का 5 माह बाद मेरी बेटी बात याद हुई वज़ीर आज़म जनाब इमरान खान साहब और उनकी कंप्लेंट है कि तमाम टीम का तहे दिल से शुक्रगुजार थी, क्योंकि पंजाब की गुंडागर्दी जो हमें थ्रेड करती थी, मेरे बेटे को मारती थी, रिश्तेदारों को पकड़ पकड़ के लाई, मोहल्लेदारों को टॉर्चर किया, बहुत दुख दिए, हमें पैसे दिए, सब कुछ किया, लेकिन मेरी बेटी को बात याद नहीं करवाया। जब उनको पता चला, वो उन्होंने मेरे साथ ऐसा साथ दिया वज़ीर आज़म जनाब इमरान खान साहब की टीम ने कि जैसे एक फरिश्ते हुए।
वेलकम बैक नाजरीन टू आवर स्पेशल टॉक। ब्रेक से पहले हम जैसे बात कर रहे थे, मिस्टर खान वाज टेलिंग अबाउट हाउ टू मिटिगेट द रिस्क फैक्टर इन्वॉल्व्ड इन एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, एंड सर वी हैव आल्सो टॉक्ड अबाउट हाउ एंटरप्राइजिंग आवर यूथ इज. So if you may want to add something to it, or if you want to complete, then we'll move to Asad Saab further.
Sure. I mean, just to recap, so number one, I think it's very important to understand that 70% of entrepreneurs never make it. So just because you're an entrepreneur, you're going to start a business, does not mean it's a guaranteed success. Secondly, it's not the idea, it is the individual, and make sure that the individual has that drive, has that determination. I think with Pakistan and where it is today, the thing that I love about entrepreneurship is every time you start a business, you create a job. This is about empowering the nation to create jobs. Because if we can excite people to become entrepreneurs, to build businesses, by default they create jobs. So we're almost outsourcing job creation to the masses.
That's how it is. It is the private sector's thing to create jobs and give opportunities. Correct.
Which is why I think that if we, over the next 5, 10, 15 years, if we can develop a movement in Pakistan to create this kind of flavor of entrepreneurship, you know, this country absolutely could be transformed.
So we need to first bust this myth that it's the government which creates.
Absolutely correct.
Samdasa wants to add?
They need to create institutions that are made up through meritocracy. So ease of doing business. Everybody talks about ease of doing business. What exactly is it? So if I want to open a bank account, do I need to go have a dinner with the bank manager and see somebody else who says, yeah, I know this person, that person, I can open an account.
Yeah,
I should be able to open a bank account from overseas online, right? Why? Because that bank account is going to bring you capital what this country needs. So this is in reality what ease of doing business is. So that is the job of the government. Have we had that for the last 30 years? Unfortunately, we haven't.
Well, you know, I'm taking a course at the moment at university to open a bank account in Pakistan.
Exactly.
It's a 3-year course.
So I'm taking a sandwich course in that. Right? So the second bit is, which we're very good at as a Muslim nation, philanthropy. So if you see Shaukat Khanam, Namal University, ED Foundation, Citizen Foundation in terms of schools and so, excellent. But the government and the philanthropy have a common denominator of weakness, which is there is no innovation and there's lack of resources. In order to grow the economy, you need entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs actually look at the problems in society, and by God, Pakistan has many problems. But what people
That's
see
why
as
it's so exciting.
Yeah, absolutely,
It's a fertile ground.
Right, it's such a fertile ground. So people see that as an obstacle. Government ये नहीं कर रही, roads नहीं है, sewage नहीं है, health नहीं है. Well, excuse me. That is precisely what you need as an entrepreneur. So the job of an entrepreneur is to solve a problem. Now there are people who say the job of an entrepreneur is to earn money. If you're thinking of earning money and that's your motive, then to be honest with you, your life is going to get hellish because there's no genoon to solve a problem.
If you're a success story, money is going to follow you.
No, absolutely. So
you don't have to seek for money. Simple.
What Amjad and James have just mentioned is somebody's problem is somebody's opportunity.
Right.
That's what we're looking at here. Now, the government is doing as much as they can. Obviously, this government hasn't been there for that long, so they are doing their part. But when you talk about entrepreneurship, entrepreneurs don't wait. You know, they look at an opportunity and they go for it. So that's why Pakistan has got a massive, huge opportunity, and the young generation, obviously. So I think it's the right time. I think what the government is doing in the direction that they're moving, if people with a business sense, born entrepreneurs, some people with vision, students coming out of universities that want to go into startups, for them it's an opportunity and they need to drive in the same direction as the government.
Amjad Sahab has prompted me for one line of
So I've been actually trading with Pakistan for over 30 years as a trading company. For the first time, actually, I'm seeing government ministers and bureaucrats who are putting their hands up and saying, actually, we don't understand this. Can you help and assist? Now that is absolutely music to my ears. Somebody actually, it's like an entrepreneur. If you haven't failed and you haven't learned from it, right, and you seek help and support, that's the kind of person I want to talk to. So now, effectively, what we are saying is we need a long-term industrial strategy, but that cannot be in the hands of the government alone.
So I'm just going through this education, agriculture, tourism right at your back. That these are the areas, maybe 8 vectors which you call, right? So these, I'm sure you must have, these are very well thought out areas,
yes.
I'm sure. Now the point is, sir, for example, let's pick up tourism. The ecosystem doesn't exist. I'm sorry to say, sir, but there is so much. I was abroad, I just came back a few days ago, and I asked, and I told people, see, this is Pakistan. It's not only about sightseeing, sir. You can look at a site for a certain time. After that, you're going to get bored. That support system to bring it to that level where people are persuaded, attracted to come and see.
Pakistan has got amazing landscapes. When you go to Switzerland and you see Switzerland, when you go to other countries,
absolutely, it's equatable.
There's countries that are man-made. Pakistan's not man-made. You know, we've got hidden treasures.
Heaven sent, I call it.
Yes, exactly. Right. So what's happening now is people are beginning to realize that there's a huge opportunity in the tourism sector. That people want to go. They want to go mountain climbing. They want to go into the Gilgit, they want to go to Swat Valley, they want to go to Balochistan, all the treasures in all the hidden areas, like you said.
Indeed.
Now that's opportunities. So these international tourism companies, either they will come in and they will start up their packages, or what we're saying, and that's why we've got a tourism vertical, we're saying, why not become a tourism operator? Or all these smaller tourism operators, why not merge with a bigger operator abroad? And that can be a Pakistani businesses. So can you imagine a Pakistani business that sells airline tickets, that sells packages?
There are airline industries
all over Europe.
Yeah. Right.
They sell them all over Europe. Why do they not sell them in Pakistan?
Yeah, but we're not looking, we're not defining businesses that are all multinational businesses. To me, the definition of success is if we have a small business with 3 people operating and he's generating enough income to provide food for his family, educate his children and live a good life. To me, that's success. Entrepreneurship does not just mean big business. So the whole objective, I think, of what we're trying to create here is it's not an organization, it's a movement. I want to see entrepreneurs at the age of 20, at the age of 30, 40, 50. It's always good to remember that the chap who founded McDonald's was 62 when he started the business. He was a bit of what we call a latecomer, but that's a great message out there, because people think, so many people approach me.
There's no age to it.
They say, you know, I'm now 40, is it too late for me? Absolutely not. You know, entrepreneurship has no prejudice.
I'll give you one more example, and because my background is technology, it's call centers. Now, it's just natural that our English accent in Pakistan is far better than the English accent from our neighbors.
Yes, right.
Whereas our neighbors, they are renowned for call centers, right? But they cannot get the accent correct. So from there, it's actually, they've moved it on. Philippines are call centers now. They cannot get the accent correct. We're natural. So our accents are better.
So we should be doing better
we should be
than
doing
them.
call centers. We should have them. And I actually
That's a natural question.
Yeah, I visited a call center in Lahore, and I was amazed. You know, there was 300 people there doing a call center. They had 4 or 5 customers, and the CEO was actually in the UK looking for more business. So it's actually there. It's ready made. It's just going to be explored.
You know, earlier on you were discussing tourism. And James was alluding to people who've got, you know, 3 people in a company, they've got a product, they're feeding their families. So we've absolutely realized that there's a concept in management called adoption innovation.
Early adopters, early majority.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what we've done.
Laggards.
So what we've done actually, the reason why we work with the universities, there are actually a lot of PhD students in Pakistan who've done their PhDs, and after that they haven't got a job. So what we're thinking is, if you look at the tourism vertical, so what is it that the SMEs, the technology guys, the savvy guys, what can they do with the same savvy guys in Bradford, in Los Angeles, who are originally Pakistani origin? Because those are the people who are going to be the early adopters, whether you like it or not, right? So what can they do with them? But then you move to the next stage with SMEs, people like me or somebody, you know, who's Asad's age, younger than us, right? Their thought process is completely different. But what we've got to do is match the same thought process so they fit in exactly. So for a country of 200 million plus, unfortunately, we haven't even created a single global company that operates in over.
There is no brand as such.
Yeah, this is absolutely madness, right? So what we are saying is that you are capable of doing it.
But if I have an idea, and it's a brilliant idea, what is the safety that the idea is going to be limited to me? And if it's shared with XYZ, because there's no concept of copyright in Pakistan, unfortunately.
Goes back to my original question. See, now immediately you think the value is in the idea. I keep saying
it's not.
So the number of people who come to me with exactly your question, they say, James, I've got this amazing idea, but I can't tell anybody because they're going to steal it. And I say, you know, this is where you have to understand it is the person who breathes life into an idea. Because this is your idea, it's your passion, it's your belief. I can't just copy you tomorrow because I didn't originate it. It's not a commodity that I can pass my idea to you. So for example...
But for example, the way the trends are changing all over the world. Credit cards would be history soon because the applications would take over in the phone.
Without question,
right? So
absolutely.
For example, I need to have a certain bank account, and you know I'll be transferring that according to my needs.
I mean, China,
this is happening, right? Do you think certain ideas which are good enough for Pakistan, maybe not perfectly applicable somewhere else? I mean, this market is a little different. It's in Asia, it's in South Asia, considering the macro environmental factors, the micro environmental factors, and all the other basic ingredients, sir.
No, I think you're absolutely right. The key issue there is you can replicate something that already works. That's not you originating an idea. So if somebody comes to me and says, James, I feel that China has adopted a smartphone mechanism for a payment system, I want to do that, absolutely fine. Because there's no emotion there. It's a commercial business opportunity. I get that. when you originate something from scratch, that you've innovated an idea, that idea is really, it sits with you. So there are, so for example, in Europe we have an airline called EasyJet.
Yes,
Huge airline, but Stelios didn't originate the idea. He took Southwest Airlines from the US, who had a budget line concept, and he replicated it in Europe.
And that's why you always tend to ask the person as to what is his motivation,
Yeah,
that you may know what if he has the drive to take it forward.
Now, he coincidentally, he's a Greek Cypriot. He has an entrepreneurial background. His father was a shipping magnate, so he's already an entrepreneur. So what I'm saying is, sometimes the idea is staring you in the face.
Correct.
You know, so to me, unfortunately, I'm not innovative, I'm not creative, so I don't think I'll ever originate a new idea. But what I can do is, to me, business is about, can I do this cheaper, faster and better?
Right.
That doesn't have to be original, because you can take something that already exists and just do it better. That in itself is business.
Rather, gentlemen, we've been told that we are towards the end of this very engaging program, and we take messages, last words from everyone, starting from you, Mr. Asad.
Well, I think the LIFT 2019 is a huge opportunity. If people are interested in entrepreneurship, they want to meet SMEs, they want to listen to CEOs, they want to showcase their products, it's a huge opportunity, and do not miss it.
Right. Lovely. Short and sweet. Mr. Ramjad.
What I would say is echo the words of our honourable guest, is in Jumpstart, this is not an organization. Yes, it needs organizational ability, but this is not an organization. This is a movement which actually empowers the individual to realize their potential. Now, we as an organization and board members and stakeholders have been on a journey for 5 years. We simply cannot do it on our own. So actually saying this is my organization, I don't want to engage anybody else, would be foolhardy and stupid. So what I will say to the viewers is, we're an open, transparent organization that wants to work with the whole of ecosystem. Pakistan is at a cliff's edge financially, politically, and you know the dangers. I don't need to actually highlight, people are fully aware of that. Jumpstart is a unique organization that actually embraces innovation. But we believe that as well as political and social responsibility, entrepreneurialism is the only way that Pakistan can truly become. So our motto is stronger together, creating a great nation. So please come and join us. It's a great movement and you'll love it.
Absolutely, sir. It's a great idea, great initiative, and
Mr.
I'm sure you'll get a lot of support. Khan Saab.
You know, I left Pakistan 50 years ago, and I'm sitting here today, and I can be honest with you and say I'm homesick. You know, I'd like to return home and use the knowledge and the experience that I've created, and I'd love to see more people like myself emerging in Pakistan to demonstrate that we don't have to import success.
Absolutely.
We want a homegrown success, and we want to teach our people how to stand up amongst the best in the world as entrepreneurs, and that for me would be a fantastic achievement.
Inshallah. Well said, sir.
Inshallah.
Lovely. That I think are the parting words from all the gentlemen, and it was such extreme pleasure and honor for both Faisal and I to host such a lovely panel tonight on the program. Thank you so much, Mr. Ramjad Parvez, Mr. James Khan, Syed Asad Hussain. It was indeed lovely, and I'm sure this was enlightening to the viewers as well, who've been watching us and who've been listening to all these great ideas. Viewers, हम दोनों की तरफ से और तमाम टीम की तरफ से आप सबसे इजाजत, इंशाल्लाह. See you again. Allah Hafiz.